Hey, what's up team? Welcome back to a new video. Today is a follow-up from my latest video, so the most brutal military test ever with Magnus Midtebo. I hope I get that right. A pro climber and just an all-round awesome extreme guy who loves to test himself. This is him training with the Norwegian LLRP. It's what he did before the test, but I didn't see that, so we're now going into this to see what he actually does. Very interested. Let's get into it.
The world's best Arctic fighters. The Norwegian Reconnaissance Squadron is an elite force only a few people would even consider. And out of those who do, only 1% make it through their selection. These guys are specialists at operating behind enemy lines for long periods of time. They're trained to go unnoticed in any terrain and to be completely independent. They're also the Norwegian force's best climbers. And just to give you an idea of how tough this unit really is, earlier this year they went on a mission where they spent 44 days outside in down to minus 30 degrees in some of the harshest Arctic conditions you can imagine, without any supplies and without being told how long the mission would last. This is a screened unit, meaning their identity has to remain a secret, and no media has ever been allowed in, not until now, as I'm about to join the world's best Arctic fighters on a mission above the Arctic Circle and behind enemy lines.
Already that's just pretty insane, isn't it? Just what an intro. These are obviously tough guys. Let's get into it. I'm very interested.
Okay, Magnus, welcome to Norwegian Military Intelligence Battalion. Today you are going to visit the long-range reconnaissance squadron, the LRPs, and do a mission with them.
A climbing mission, I've heard.
A climbing mission, a bit different from what you are normally doing, and I guess when we get you geared up, it will be odds even. Your patrol has been tasked to support the rescuing of a downed pilot behind enemy lines. The pilot, his last known position is in the area of East-Tindan, here.
So the mission is to rescue the pilot, who should be somewhere in the area of East-Tindan. We'll be transported into enemy's territory by car, where we get dropped off and have to make our way up the mountain as quickly as possible and unnoticed by the enemy. As soon as we have the pilot, we'll call for a helicopter to come fly us out.
Questions?
No questions.
The guys will take care of you.
Just looking at that terrain on Google Maps, you know it's going to be tough. In the mountains, it's very hilly, it's extremely cold, high altitude, and he's a climber, but it's completely different to any sort of climbing he's done before with all that weight on. Being able to know your surroundings, constantly situational awareness with all your kit and equipment, weapon systems, etc. It's going to be interesting.
Should I be aware of the surroundings? Like look around, do we need to be ready to, because now we're behind enemy lines.
Yeah, we just got a SIT update from our base. They have intelligence that says that there are enemy forces moving towards our position, and they're probably looking for the pilot as well.
And we also have to be quick, right?
Yeah, we have to pick up the pace, unfortunately.
I mean, these backpacks are like 35 kilos, and that's no exaggeration. So like we measure them before. My legs aren't that strong. I already feel it a little bit, but I'm going to try to keep up with you guys. How do we move without being noticed in this terrain? Because that's your kind of specialty, right?
Well, we try to stay in the low terrain unless we have like concealment in the fog and stuff like that. And as you can see around us now, the fog is coming in, so that's good for us.
Luckily we're being picked up by a helicopter at the top. For me that's really the highlight. I've never been in a helicopter before, so but first we need to find the Firejet pilot.
Yeah,
that's priority number one. Riding the helicopter, that's priority number 2.
Cool, a lot going on already. Straight away, do I need to look around? Yeah, that's the thing. This is completely different to any anything else that most people do. You go hiking, you got people that climb mountains. I've never climbed Everest or anything like that, but you just need to lug the weight and you just need to get to the top. These guys need to know situational awareness. You're constantly looking out for enemy positions. You need to make sure you're concealed and hidden at all times. You've got people on radios. You're thinking about sort of possible fire positions. Is this an ambush sort of area? What's the enemy doing? And trying to relay all this information up as well, and come up with plans in your head as you're patrolling along, just in case you move into an area and you think, right, this could happen, what we're going to do if this happens. So you're thinking about that. He's already thinking about getting on a helicopter, which is not a priority at the minute. And you've got to do this in extreme harsh conditions. Like, you can just tell straight away, look how hard this is going to be. So it's definitely going to be tough for Magnus.
These guys have like a crazy high pace, and I've been told that I should look for enemies to the left. So the guy in the front, he's looking straight ahead. I'm looking to the left. The guy behind me is looking to the right. But I'm too out of breath to even I feel like my sight is kind of blurry. But it's really exciting. If we keep this pace for much longer, I have to ask them if we can take a little break. The Firejet pilot needs to wait, otherwise I'm gonna die on the way up here. And it was crazy. We left like 1 a.m. didn't sleep at all. We were supposed to sleep for like an hour, but I couldn't fall asleep, and we have very little food with us, and we're just gonna try to do this as quickly as possible, get in, get out. And these guys are crazy fit, and we're soon about to like get our harness on and start actually climbing, and I think that's going to be really spectacular. But it's a very different climbing that I'm used to. These backpacks are around 35 kilos, so that's about half my body weight, and I don't know how I'm going to climb with that, and also with boots. These are very different from my usual Drago climbing shoes.
So you can see there how different it is. Obviously he's inexperienced, he doesn't know, but he's just looking down. He hasn't got his hands on his weapon system properly to react. If you look behind him, how the others were coming up with 2 hands on the weapon systems, they're looking around. He's just like head down and need to get to the top of the hill. It's a lot harder than what people think. 35 kilos is most probably average for what you carry. I've done stuff like this, maybe not in the mountains and Arctic, but yeah, over like the Brecon Beacons, Otterburn, etc., carrying 42 kilos plus. There, with the weapon systems, you can see.
I've done a lot of hard shit lately, but this is hard in just a different way. Just never ending. We've been hiking for hours. We thought we were at the top, and we were just halfway. So the last few hours we've just been hiking, but it's super hot right now. Running low on water, but now it looks like we're gonna climb the ridge finally. And I've kind of stopped looking for enemies, to be honest. I just feel like, yeah, if there are any enemies in the area, they're gonna deal with it. So I'm not focusing on myself right now. Need to save the pilot. I think this is gonna take me some time to recover from. Like, right now it feels like my batteries are really low, and I know that the mission has just started, so I'm a little bit worried. I saw you got like an update on the...
As of now, the entire Operation Meatballs, is depending
Operation Meatballs. Who made that name?
Might have been me. It's critical for us to get to the pilot as soon as possible. As you can see in front of us, we have a really narrow and steep ridge line. That's our only way through. It's super exposed. We're exposed to
like the elements, rocks and stuff, but also from being spotted by the enemy.
What happens if we get like shot at during our climb? Do we what is it called? Return fire, or
Yeah, we will shoot back.
Shoot back. Okay, yeah.
And
because we're pretty vulnerable on that ridge.
It's gonna be a shitstorm if we get in contact on the ridge.
Yeah.
We've divided like one full rack with all the pros, so the nuts and the cams. We're gonna go as a 3.
Yeah. Is it a climbing helmet?
So it's we have another helmet, kind of similar, which is made for ballistics.
Okay.
So it's really heavy.
Yeah.
But this one is a more lightweight one.
Yeah.
The first person goes in front with all the protection, and then you as the second person will take it out.
Yeah.
And then
so we're not belaying each other. I think it's going to be new to a lot of people watching this type of style. So basically, if one of you fall, I have to go low, right?
Yeah, and make sure if we fall on one side, that kind of you
basically have to fall on the other side.
Well, that's the kind of, you have to have a pretty quick reaction, you know, like, was it left, was it right, and then you just have to do it.
Yeah, and you'll see afterwards, like, maybe not using this kind of pros, but just using natural, just rocks, whatever you have, trees, and just put the rope in between.
Yeah. Also the harness is camo. That was pretty cool. Never seen that before. And we're gonna climb with the backpacks, so that's what's gonna make it really challenging. I mean, this route isn't gonna be that hard in itself. We're trying to go quick, and we're trying not to be noticed, you know. So, I mean, it's a different way of moving. When we get down there, we call for the helicopter. How long does that usually take for the helicopter to come?
Since there's a lot of enemy in the area, then it's a bigger operation, so they need multiple planes to kind of suppress the enemy before they can bring in a helicopter, which is an easier target.
Yeah, so they first have to suppress the enemy's air force, and then they can come in and save us.
Yeah. No,
and what do we do if we don't get a helicopter?
It wouldn't be the first time it happens. So you always plan for an emergency plans. So you always have kind of escape routes and different kinds of pickups.
Yeah, but the pilot is, I mean, he's worth more than us, right? Because he's
so the education they get, and they're jet fighter pilots. So
it's a very cynical way of looking at it, but that's how it is.
They're kind of pushing the 5 of us to help get him out. And that's our mission. So we just have to
follow the mission.
Follow the mission.
So I've never done something like this. I've done mountain climbing, rock climbing, more of my own time and stuff with work. But this is something I wish I had done. A lot of the commandos and Marines sort of do this, especially within the Marines. They have sort of like their mountain trooping, and obviously within our special forces, you've got your mountain troops as well. So gutted I never got to do this, but I'm very interested to watch, see how they do it. It looks absolutely nails.
So you guys sore at all?
I don't think my legs know what they've been up to yet. So maybe I'll feel it later. But
yeah, well, you were leading the way the whole way. Pretty high pace.
I thought you'd do good.
Look at the views up there, that just looks so cool. I wish I could have done this fully within my military career, but like I said, I've done it in my own time and as sort of like adventure training. Absolutely love hiking, rock climbing, etc. I should really get into it some more, but it's absolutely, can you imagine trying to do that at 55 kilos, trying to understand your full situational awareness, looking out for any musicians, making sure you're always constantly moving in the right direction. Yeah, it's got to be hard. And another thing is you don't want to be seen by the enemy as well. So you need to make sure that you don't get yourself too high up. So you stick out on the ridge lines so that enemy forces are able to see you and then engage you. So you've got to remain hidden at all times as well doing this. Look at that. And without falling.
So you're looking for the pilot. Is he gonna give you like a signal, or is it like, what are you looking for?
Yeah, well, I'm looking for a single person, but if he sees us, he'll confirm it with a smoke or a flare. But I'm trying to scan to see him, because he should be in the area.
Do you know what color he's wearing?
He should be wearing a flight suit. Yeah, I think I got him. Yeah, it's right by the edge there.
Do you have a way of calling him, or do we just need to go down there and check?
I think we'll try to get closer before we do anything else.
Okay.
Try not to be called out by the enemy.
Once with the glacier, so white.
All
So
white.
that's why we brought our white cam.
Okay.
So for the pants,
Yeah.
here as well, and then for our helmets, everything.
Everything's
So we're gonna
white.
try and like blend into the glacier.
Yeah.
So what's the plan now? The guy is up there, right? The pilot is up there somewhere.
We think we saw something up on the other ridgeline up there.
Yeah.
So
We just got a report about increased hostile activity in the area.
yeah,
So we have to be extra careful, right? So we're gonna switch to the white clothes.
yeah. So the white cams,
Mhm.
top and bottoms,
Well, I guess we have no time to waste.
no time to waste. So
Yeah.
You always get close and then the activity increases. Always happens.
Is that smoke?
That's him.
That's the pilot, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like they've stashed their kit and equipment to get up to him as quick as possible so they can extract. So we put him in cache somewhere.
Safe!
Shelter, heat you up, give you some warm fluids. Have you heard anything about the helicopter?
Yeah, so just got news. The old forces did not manage to suppress enemy anti-air, so there will not be helicopter for us.
So we have to make the way down ourselves?
Yeah, we need to walk down ourselves. So we need to get down very fast.
Oh man.
Knew that was coming.
Finally, we've been walking on snow for hours, and we've been out for, I think it's close to 35 hours without sleep, with hardly any food. I feel really low on energy, and this is so different from all the other challenges that I've done. Like, I don't even have energy to, like, on the way down I didn't have energy to talk to the camera, and it's just, I don't know, I feel like I'm completely empty right now, and I don't know, it's just this backpack is so annoying, you know. Did I mention that it's 35 kilos? I think I've mentioned that like 20 times already. Evan, you told me something funny earlier about the warmest piece of clothing in NATO.
Yeah.
What is it?
You wanna know what it is? Oh, it's this piece of kit right here.
It's a backpack.
Yeah.
Would you call this operation successful so far?
Yeah, I'd say it's been...
Just hiding in a hole. They all left. See how foggy it is as well, and tacked him in a horrible position there.
This is the spray that I use twice a day. It increases the blood circulation and the blood flow.
Did you guys know that we were gonna get shot at today? Or was that a surprise?
It's always a surprise. I mean, you never know if you're gonna meet enemies. When you get tired, on your way down, coming from the mountain, or you're going to your pickup point,
Yeah.
that's when you start like getting really unfocused. And so kind of have to be switched on the whole time.
And I guess it's smart of them to test you at the end of a mission like this,
for sure.
when you're tired, and because they test your reflexes, I guess. Like
and now we're trained to, like, if we hear that we're getting shot at, something just turns on.
Yeah,
you're yelling, adrenaline starts pumping. No matter how tired you are, you don't want to get killed, right? So you shoot back and you do your best.
So I was actually instructed to not shoot if we had any contact. I was just directed to just stay put and follow the instructions. So I'm definitely not gonna look like a hero in that shot. Is there anything we could have done better?
I mean, we ended up in a contact with the enemy.
Okay.
That's never good, but we managed it well, and we got
It was
out of there.
defeated.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just super excited. I'm just super excited for the pizza.
Yeah.
You've been telling me about the pizza, and my mouth gets like watery just from saying that word. It's been very little food and water, and I don't know how you guys do this, like not every day, but quite often.
Yeah, you get more and more used to it every time you do it.
Yeah, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe as always, and I will see you next time.
You can see the difference between them there, like how much more tired and exhausted he looks. There's definitely a huge difference. I'd like to say you get used to it. You know, I was never in the special forces or anything like that, but going out, you know, you go on exercise for weeks, days, you do everything at night, you go out on long patrols, you get contacted, you're carrying kit and equipment that weighs 20, 30, 40 kilos. So it's stuff that I've done, but maybe not exactly obviously like they have done it. it is very, very tough. It really takes a toll. He's always looks at the end goal, the helicopter or the pizza, which you do obviously think about all the time, and you need to sort of remain focused. That's very tough what they've just done up in the Arctic, over the mountains, carrying 35 kilos. So good on him for trying. It's very interesting to see and learn more about the Norwegian their reconnaissance unit. A tough unit. Only 1% apparently pass their selection, and you can see why with what they've got to do and the skills that they need to be able to perform. So very interesting. Magnus is a very cool guy, very tough. It's very good to see. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you soon.